Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Bill. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over MillMage. MillMage is a program that you use for your CNC machine. It's brand new. It's from the creators of Lightburn. So if you know Lightburn or if you've done Lightburn, it looks exactly like Lightburn. The same look and appeal of Lightburn. So if you're used to Lightburn, it shouldn't be too hard to go and get used to this if you're dealing with CNC. If you know a little bit about CNCing. Before I used to have to use Lightburn to create my file. Then I would export it out as a DXF file, and I would pull it into Carveco Maker. Then from Carveco Maker, I would set up all my toolpaths. From there, I would go ahead and save it, and then send it to Candle, which I would use to have the computer run the machine to do the job that I wanted it to do. MillMage is all one program, just like you have with Lightburn. You create it, you edit it, you do everything you want to do with it, then you go ahead and you send it to your laser machines. Same thing with, it's all one program. You buy the program, it's yours, one-time fee, and then for that whole year you get all the updates and all the things that they add to it, all the goodies that they add to it and fix. You get that free for a year. After that year is up, if you want to, you can pay a much smaller price to be able to get the next year's worth of updates and add-ins, or you can just say, I'm keeping what I have. Being it's a brand new software, I don't think that's going to be too many people, because there's going to be a lot of bugs they're working on, a lot of things they're changing, a lot of things they're adding, improving, and doing all those things with it. So I would say for sure, for a couple years, you're going to be putting that extra money in just to keep getting those new updates, for sure. But this is going to be for MillMage, and I'm going to kind of jump in there, and I'm going to show you a few things that I've noticed with it. I made a sign that's going to be coming out in my next video. It's already done. I just got to edit it, and I'll have that posted for you as well too. But this is going to be just some of the basics of MillMage, of what I was able to find and what I was able to do and be able to get with it. So we're going to jump in now and we're going to check it out. Alright, so you're going to click in MillMage, and it's going to look, let me pull a new window up. It's going to look just like this. Every time you double click your icon, this is what it's going to come up as. Forget that. We do not want to save the edit. This is what it's going to come up as. Actually, it's going to come up as this. It's going to be a beginner. I don't like the beginner one. It's too many steps to go through. I'd rather use the advanced setup, and this is what it looks like. Everything that's in the beginner, you keep clicking next, it's going to be all exactly on one screen. This is going to be one, that's going to be another, it's going to be another, it's going to be, and then you'll be able to do it. So the first one's going to be safe clearance of your height. 20 millimeters is really conservative, so I'm going to change that to 10. And then 5 and 5, I'll keep all those the same. My units I'm going to keep as millimeters. And the width, if you know it's, let's say, 10 inches by 10 inch piece of material that you're going to be using, you go ahead and you click on it and you put 10, and then you hold the shift and hit the comma key. It's going to change that to inches, so you don't have to try to know what is 10 inches in millimeters. You come down here, do the same thing. You're going to hold shift, hit 10, hold shift, and then the comma key, and then you can go ahead and get that. Your thickness is, if you're not cutting the piece completely out, you leave it at 10, it doesn't matter. If you know it's a 5 millimeter piece that you're cutting completely out, then you would change that to 5 millimeters. Your 0 point is either going to be on the top or on the bottom. Mine is, I always use mine on the top. That's where on the top of my work piece, that's where it's going to be. And then over here you got your bottom left, you got bottom right, and so on. Center, top left. Mine, I have home and switches, so I leave mine in the bottom left because that's where it is. Now all you do is you go ahead and click create new project, and it's going to bring a grid here that is going to be 10 inches by 10 inches. How do you know? If you click on this corner, roughly-ish, come down to that corner-ish, change it to inches, you're going to see it's 10 by 10. Okay? So that's going to be what you, every time you come up, that's what it's going to be. Now, if you mess this up and you're like, well, I actually wanted it 8 inches by 8 inches, you don't have to redo everything. All you have to do is come up here to File, Project, Setup, Edit. And it's going to bring that same panel back up. Now you can change it to 8, and then hold the shift and the comma key. Come down here, hit 8, hold the shift and the comma key, and that's going to change it into inches for you right there. Now you'll see now it's actually 8 inches by 8 inches. And if you look at it, if I was exactly on that, it would be 8 inches by 8 inches. So that's how easy it is. If you mess it up or you want to change it, you can always go into File, Project Setup, Edit, and you can change all your settings right there, just like that. It's real easy. Or you can go back to the Use Beginner, which I just don't. So let me close this one out. Discard that. Now we're on this one here. Now, that's done. Start up MillMage, we did that one. Now we're going to do, let's go ahead and set up your probe. I don't know how many of you guys have a probe. If you have a probe and don't use it, I don't understand. If you do have a probe and you want to use it, I'm going to show you how you can add that into MillMage. It took me forever to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I just kept playing and messing, and I finally got it. But what you're going to do, you're going to come up here to CNC Tools, come down to Probe and Wizard, and you're going to pick which one you have. You have a block, or do you have the tool length probe? I don't have that, never had it, never used it. Just saw other people that have had it that have used it. I don't have it, never used it. So this is the one I have, is a block. Okay? And I'll show you that one here in a minute once I get over to the other camera. So it's got an X, a Y, and a Z. You can probe this, like some of them you have out there, real fancy ones. It'll come down, it'll touch this, then it'll go up, it'll come over, touch this, then it'll come down, and it'll touch the probe for the Z. I don't have that. But I'm going to go ahead and click the probe block, because that is what I have. And this is where you, if you had the X and the Y block, that's where you would select those. I don't, so I'm going to deselect those. Just leave the Z selected, click Next. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Next, and I'm going to go ahead and just hit Finish for now. Now, let me jump over to this camera. This is the probe that I have. It's a cheap one. It came with my Genmitsu 4040 Reno. It's a real cheap one. It's got the alligator clip, and then it comes down and does that. First thing you need to know is, what is your thickness of your Z probe? You have to know your thickness. Put it down with your calipers, come down, and it is 12.12 millimeters. So I know that's what it is, 12.12. So I'm going to go back to MillMage, and you're going to go to your CNC Tools, come down to Probe Settings, click your block, or if you have the other one, but this is what I have, the block. Now, all these things you can set and change all these things. The only ones I changed was the probe depth. I thought the offset Z, I thought that's what it was for the longest time, and every time I did it, it just kept messing up. I couldn't figure out why this is not working. So then I finally figured out it's actually probe depth. And you see right here, it is changed to 12.12. That is the thickness of my probe. Once you put your correct thickness, whether it's 13, 10, whatever the thickness of it is, you put that in there. Now, you got your fast probe feed. It's going to come down twice. It's going to touch your probe twice. First time it's going to come down pretty quick, 600 millimeters a minute. Touch it and go back up. Then it's going to come down real slow at 30 millimeters a minute for the more accurate reading. Then it's going to touch and go up. You can adjust the speeds of those. You can make this 100 instead of 30. I'm sorry. So you can have it as any of that. All you're going to do then is you're going to go ahead and click OK. Alright, so that was setting up the probe. Now, another thing I want to talk about is I want to go over a setting here that's pretty, a setting that I really like. You go to your, I think it's under your wrench. Yes. You go into your wrench and your screwdriver, and it's right here. It's enable $J jogging. You click that. Now you see I can't hit OK down here, or save, whatever it is. So I got to slide this all the way down. Then I can click on it, bring it up, and now you have OK. So it'll save that setting. Now, what that's going to do is if you go over here to your Move tab, if you don't have your Move tab, you just go to Windows, and then you look for Move. Right here, you click it. It'll be unchecked if it is. You just hit the check, and it'll put Move tab in there. But you go to your Move tab, and you'll see you have all these move functions with your machine. Now, my machine should be. Let me make sure. It is ready, so it is set up to the to this, so we'll be able to do it. Now, in the Move tab, you got these arrow keys where you can go on angles, you can go left, right, up and down. You got your Z distance, you can go up and down. But now you'll see you have continuous jog here. If you click that continuous jog, all you have is straight up, straight down, left, right, and then up and down with your Z. So if you click and hold, your machine will actually, let me see if I swap. If that's gonna make sure you're on the right camera, it is. Let me lift this up just a little bit. You'll actually see the machine moving now. And if I hold on the right arrow key, it's gonna keep going until I let go. If I hit the up arrow key or the back arrow key, it's gonna keep going till I let it go. Same thing with the left, and then the straight down to the front of the machine. So I like that better. Now, when you're trying to get to a specific place and you want to be real specific, you want to get to this little point right here, then let me make sure you can see that. Yes. If you're trying to get that little point, then you can come over here to this, and you can uncheck the continuous jog. Now you can put your increments in 0.1, 0.5, 1, 10, or 100. Now I know I want to be in this area right here, so let me hit the continuous again real quick, and I want to bring it down to where it's just about on top of it. And if I hit my arrow keys now, I can swap it, uncheck the continuous again. Now I can go, we'll go 1 millimeter at a time. So let me switch back over. And make sure you're on the right camera. You are. Okay, now I can go one at a time. 1 millimeter at a pop till I can get to where I'm almost lined up to where I need to be. Okay, so you can change it to whatever you want. Now I can bring that down just to make sure. Oh, I had that at 10. The Z probe was set at 10, so I did not change that. So that's okay, no harm, no foul. But you want to change it to 1, and then you can drop it down. I'll show you what I was looking at here. I had it set to, the default was 10. So when I clicked the down arrow, it went 10 millimeters down. That's what happened. I didn't change it to 1 millimeter. So when I click on it, it will drop down 1 millimeter at a time until you can get it just lined up inside your hole that you had. So that's how you can get your alignment precise by that. But if you want to do the continuous, that's what I like. Then you're gonna want to hit the continuous button that you can just continually hold it, and you'll be good to go. Which would be these right here. So that'll let you do the continuous button, so you know you have what you have. All right, so that's kind of it for the positioning and the movement of it. Probing, this is where you're going to probe at. I do want to probe for you, so I want you to see that. So I'm going to raise my Z-axis up, and I do want to probe real quick. I want to show you the probing of it. You hit your alligator clip. Well, let me make sure. Alright, so you put your alligator clip on your bit, set your Z probe underneath it, And this right here now is where you're going to be hitting your Z probe. You're going to hit this right here, probing. You click on that, and of course this is the one we set up, which is the probe block, XYZ probe block. All we have is the Z. That's all I have. I'm going to click next, and now I can move it to wherever I want to move it at, and it's always going to keep its position where it was. That'll allow me to, if I'm on a corner of this wood, then I'll be able to move it over to the middle to be able to probe it. So you click next, and then all you do is we're going to hit the execute button right here, execute on Z, but I'm going to move over to the other camera so you can see that. And all you do is hit that execute on Z, and it's going to bring it down. You'll see the first one's a little fast. It's going to go back up, then it's going to come down real slow and touch it that final time. Now it knows that it just calculated that this bit is going to be 12.12 millimeters for me above. It's going to calculate that with the settings, so it knows exactly where the top of this wood is. And then all you do is you click finish, and now you're ready to run that job. So that is the enable $J jogging. That's a pretty good feature to have and to go with it. Alright, so the next one I want to kind of set up now is going to be framing. I kind of like this. You know, with light burn, you can frame your material out. You know, you can get it exactly where you want to have it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit job control, and I want to hit the home button, and it's going to take my router up, and it's going to come all the way to the front left corner, and it's going to park it right there. It's got the limit switches, so it knows exactly where the home position is, 0, 0, 0. So now when you're looking at this right here, this is 8 inches by 8 inches, but I'm only using what is this in inches? 1.06 by 1.1. And the same with this, because all I did was I duplicated that over. So this is actually 8 inches, but I'm only using 1.06 by 1.1. So it's going to know that that's going to be that corner of this wood that I have on there. So my machine jogged home. It knows where the home is. And if you go to the move tab, you'll see my machine. This is M for machine. Tool position M. That's your machine. Is parked at 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way across. Now it knows that my tool, my workpiece is going to be over in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the job control, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit frame. And now it's going to frame. Let me swap cameras. You're going to see it's going to frame it right where it needs to be at. Okay? And that's going to frame both of those. So I like the framing. That's where what I can do is I can hit my Z down, and I can put that right where it is on the corner of that piece of wood that I'm actually going to engrave in, and I can go ahead and I can do the job control, frame, and it's just going to frame it around. So I like that. Alright, so that's going to be your framing. Framing, I really like the framing that they have with it. I really like that. So now the next thing I wanted to kind of set up was multiple bits. I want to set up, because when you start MillMage, you're not going to have any bits. So I want to make sure that we have show you where you can set up your bits. So let's go ahead and come over here to MillMage. Alright, that's where we're at. Perfect. And first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to operations, and I'm going to leave those two here for right now because that's what is actually on the workbed. No, actually, let's go ahead and we'll just click one, hit the little trash can here, and get rid of them. Now, we're going to set up a bit. my bits are, and I'll just set up 2 different bits. I'll set up a 0.4 millimeter bit, and then I'll set up a 1.4 millimeter bit. I'm going to set up those 2 bits, and this is how you would go about doing it. You would go to Edit Tools. When you start it out, you're not going to have anything in here, so you're going to have to create a folder on your desktop that it's going to put all these bits in. So I'm just going to pretend they're not here. Let's lower this one down, and let's lower that one down, and you're going to start out with a blank screen. First thing you're going to do is you're going to click on this right here, create a new category, and I'm going to call that category Test space 0.4 is what I'm going to call that category. Okay? Now I'm going to click off it. It just put a category up here, Test 0.4. Now I'm going to click on that folder, and I'm going to go ahead and it's going to be an end mill. But we're going to click on it, and then we're going to hit this little create new tool. And it's going to be an end mill. They have end mill, ball mill, V-bit, drill, and roundover. They're the bits that you can select from. I'm going to do the end mill because that's what it is. Name, you can name it whatever you want. I leave it blank. Vendor, if you know where you got it from, like I got a lot of bits from SaneSmart, I'll put SaneSmart in here. Tool number, if you have a tool bit changer with your machine, you would definitely want to put that in there. 1 for this bit, because when it knows it, it's going to go change it to the 1 position. I don't have that, so that means nothing to me. Now your diameter, that is what you're going to change right now. You're going to change that to 0.4. So we'll go 0.4. And the flute length, it's not the whole length of the bit. It's actually going to be just the length of the flute part of it, the actual engraving part of that bit. So I know when I measure with my calipers, it's actually 5 millimeters. So I'll put 5 in there. They're usually mostly two flutes. So I'll leave it at 2 flutes, and we'll come down here. I know the feed rate is 600 millimeters a minute is going to break that bit. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to change that to 150 millimeters a minute. And the plunge rate would be fine. The ramp would be fine. Now this is where MillMage, they keep it standard at 0.1. It will not do anything at 0.1. So if you have one of those machines that has automatic router on it, where it turns on and off with your machine, then you would want to set that to whatever you want your speed to be for that bit. I don't, mine's all manual. I have a Bauer router, trim router that I put on this, so it doesn't matter. I have to turn it on and off myself. So I'm just going to come over here and click the up arrow key just once to get it to, because otherwise it's not going to, it'll give you an error code later. So you just change it to whatever you want. You can change it 16,000. It's not going to change anything for my router because it's manual. It's not automatic. And depth per pass for this 0.4, I found with mine needs to be 0.5 millimeters. 1 millimeter was just way too much. It was breaking up. And 40%, the highest you can go is 50%. So that's as high. You can't go any higher than 50% a step over. So I'll leave it. I'm just going to leave mine at 40. All you do now is you click Apply Changes. And you'll see, just put it in there. Test 0.4, end mill 0.4 millimeter bit. And it'll show you over here what it looks like. So that's the one we're going to put in. Another one I'm going to put in is going to be, we need to add another category. So we're going to go Test 1.4. And I'm going to go ahead and click off of it. And it just put that category up here. Test 1.4 is right here. You click on it. Then you come over here and you click your bit because you want to add a bit to it. Now I know the 1.4 is going to be right here. The diameter is going to be 1.4. And my flute length, I believe, was 11, I believe it was. So let me just check my calipers out. And all you're measuring is the actual threaded part of your bit, the actual engraving part. And it is 11 millimeters. So You put in there 11 millimeters, and it's 2 flute, and 600 millimeters a minute is fine, and all that stuff will be fine. But again, your spindle RPM, you need to change that. I'm just going to go up to that. That's good enough, and then I'm going to leave that at 40% over. Probably could go a little bit down, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and hit apply changes. Now you see you got both of your bits here. You got your test 0.4 millimeter bit and your test 1.4 millimeter bit. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Now we got our little boxes here. I just created a little box, and what we need to do is we need to create a toolpath for this box. First one I want to do is going to be the green one, and the way you can change it is right down here. You can make it red, you can make it blue, yellow, whatever color you want. So we'll leave it at green, and we're going to make this one black. All I did was duplicate it, moved it over. That one is black. So now you select the one you want, click new orientation. This one I want to be a profile. I just want it to go just around it and cut that out. So I'm going to hit profile. That's what profile will do. Now you want to change this up here to green. I'm sorry, I don't want to do all that. I want to just click on the left side of it and hit green. Green profile. This way you know what that bit is be for that color. Now you come down here and you want to select your tool, and I want my tool to be the test 1.4 millimeter. Double click it, and it just added that in. Now you want to do your final depth. Your start depth is going to be what's at the very top of your wood. So that's going to be 0. Unless you pocket it out a millimeter, then you would want to have an engraving inside that pocket down lower. Then you would want to have your start depth of I think it would be like -1, so that it knows to go down 1 before it starts doing that next tool path. I'm not doing that, so we're just leaving it at the very start, at the very top of the wood. And our final, we're just going to go down 1 millimeter is all we're going to go down. Now we're going to go. You have alongside, inside, and outside. I'm going to put alongside, and what that's going to do is, like I said, it's going to actually preview it. You're going to see it's going to go just right alongside that line and go down 1 millimeter. That's all it's going to do. Now that's one tool path for this job. Now we want to create another tool path. You could leave it green and then just make 2 different tools. I like the colors on the bottom because it helps me keep track of my bits and how I want to have it. So we're going to highlight that one, and again we're going to have to add another tool path here. So we're going to go to new operation, and we want to pocket this one out. And I'm going to click on the left side of this, and I'm going to put black pocket. My tool, I wouldn't do this because I would have done the 1.4 for this, but since we made both of these bits, I should have used the 0.4 for that one, but I'll do it this way. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and click the 0.4 millimeter bit. Double click on it, and you'll see it automatically put down here depth per pass 0.5. You don't have to try to remember. You already put it in your bit. You know what it is. It already put it in it. You want to go down 1 millimeter. So that means every pass is going to go down to 0.5 millimeter. To get to a millimeter, you got to do that twice. So that put that in there for you and lets you know. And you see over here, it changed it to the feed rate is 150 millimeters, and all the rest is good to go. Where was it? Your RPM is 2.1. That is not true because when I'm using the 0.4, I will have that all the way up. I think it's like I forget how many RPMs that one is, but I'll have that all the way up for that small bit to make sure it don't break easy, and slow feed rate and all that. So that's why the feed rate is 150 and all my RPMs up real high. Okay, all you do is click OK. Now you have both of these in here for both of these boxes. You select the preview box, and you're going to see what you have. Most of the time it's going to come in as this quality, so it's a little bit harder to see it. When you zoom in, it just gets a little whatever. So if you click this box here, go down to fine detail, it's going to make it a lot clearer so you can see it a lot better. This doesn't really make much, doesn't make a difference for it, but it does help it out with, if you have complex designs and things, you'll be able to really see it a lot better. So if you click on this and go down, you'll see this is just a line that went around it, but this is your pocket. It just took all that material out. It started right here and it just went back and forth until it got all the way to the top, and it got it down 1 millimeter. It's going to take 2 passes to do that 1 millimeter. If you look right here, you'll see 2 paths for this one right here, because it's 0.4 and you only have it set to go down 0.5 millimeters per pass, so it's going to take 2 of those to make 1 millimeter. But if you look at this one over here, there's just one line, because you went down 1 millimeter and you said your bit could go down 1 full complete millimeter, so that's why you only have 1 there. So you'll be able to see the 2 different ones. That's 1 line, and that's your two lines, your passes going around. All right, so let's go ahead and click OK. And I think that's it right there. We got the 2 bits we set up. I mean, you just, and then to add more, you just go to edit, and then you can add as many as you want. I'm going to get rid of these. I'll get rid of those a little bit later. That'll be fine. The test, I'll just get rid of them later. But if you add new, you would just add new, and then you can just do a whole new path up here for it, so it knows what file to put it in. I have it going into my desktop, and I made a file that's MillMage bits, and it says Blue Nano and Millin bits, so it has all those on there. So when you go to your desktop, you can load and you can bring them right back in. Let's go ahead and cancel that, and we assign the bits to the squares. I showed you how it looks when you do when you preview it. So I think that's kind of it. I think one more thing I wanted to show you was, right now my machine is home to the front left corner, and if you look at the move tab, it's showing my position is zeros like I showed you, and then it's going to go to here when it finally does its engrave. So I kind of like how you can frame it and how you can see that. That's kind of a really neat thing when you frame it. You know, when you put that bit on that corner of that material. And here's another thing too. You know it's going to be square. Here's another thing too. If you look at my wasteboard, you see I got the grids in it. So I know when I did this, I just set this up and I had it going whatever millimeters in it was, or how many inches it was in, and I just had the machine just engrave those boxes out of it. So this way I know when I'm coming in here and I put this line, this edge of my wood on that line, and I bring that up to the next line, which should be right down here, then I know that I am straight, my wood is straight and level with my machine. I know whenever I put that in this corner, it's going to frame it out and it's going to be exactly there. If I don't have that and I'm just trying to level it, oh yeah, it looks good, and I go and do it, it's going to be all crooked. So by putting your grid pattern on your wasteboard, that's going to allow you to line your wood up for when you are doing your projects, lining your wood up for you. So it makes it real nice. I know I'm exactly on that line. This wood is straight. It's ready to go. So if you don't have a grid on yours, you really need to put a grid on yours. It's really, really nice, really helpful. So I think that's kind of it. I don't think there's much more. This is just to be a real basic beginner. Just some things I kind of ran into. For sure, the probe, setting up that thickness of the probe. If I could have found something on that along, I'd have been so much happier, because it took me forever to find where I can add that probe thickness in there. I couldn't figure it out until I finally got it. I said, oh my God, there it is. It was like 2 days trying to mess with it, trying to get it to be able to set that thickness of my probe. That was one issue I had. But for the most part, that's about the only issue that I've really had so far with MillMage. It's been a real good program. I'm really looking forward to when because right now I'm on the trial. You get a month free trial with it. I have like 12 more days left messing with it. After that, I'm gonna have to purchase it, and I will definitely be purchasing MillMage because I'm spending $15 a month for Carveco Maker. You add that up over, and that's every month. You don't do it one time and you're done like MillMage is. You buy it one time and you could be done. You have to pay $15 every month to use that program. Well, there's months that you go without using it, but you're paying that $15 every month. Where this program, MillMage, with Lightburn, you buy it. Lightburn is its own program. You pay that subscription for that. If you got a CNC, then you will buy the MillMage program separately. I think it's going to be under $200 when it's all said and done to be able to buy this program. But like I said, you design, toolpaths, and use your machine all on one program. It is so much nicer. You don't have to use 2 or 3 different programs. Carveco Maker is going to let you design. Then it's going to let you set up your toolpaths. Then you have to save it, and then you have to go to pull up a candle or something like that to use your machine, so it can send all that information to the machine and have the machine do its thing. And Candle's free, but $15 every month compared to under $200 one time, never have to pay for it again. And it's the best company out there. Lightburn is the best company out there. If you haven't had Lightburn, and you have lasers, I don't know what you're using, but Lightburn is what you want. So MillMage looks exactly like Lightburn. There's just different ways to set the things up, your toolpaths and things. And if you have CNC, you know what those things are. If you don't have a CNC and you're looking at getting one, I'm going to come up with another video in a little bit later about just some more detailed stuff of it. But what I showed you, the next video I made a sign using it, and it came out perfect. All the other videos I saw were just, let's put a box, let's put a text in the middle of it, and let's pocket all of it out and leave the text. That's nice. But I wanted to actually see what it was going to handle with a sign. How you can set up your toolpaths for all those signs to do different things. I love the color codes on the bottom of it, so I can set each one of my things to a certain color. I really like that. Another neat thing is, one last thing and then I'm going to be done. Where was it? It's under, let me find where it was. Just give me 1 second. I believe it was under here. Yes. Okay. All right. So I got the green square. I'm on the green square is what I'm looking at. So I select the green square. I get the green profile. If I double click it, up here in this top right corner, it shows you what the layer is. So you know it should be green because that's what I was clicking on. Let me make sure. It is green. I don't know why it's showing black on that, but that's okay because I'm on a green layer. You can click on this and you can change that to green and then hit OK. And then hit OK. Now you can come over to the black one and you can click the black pocket, click the paint color, change that to black, hit OK. Hit OK. Now if you go to your preview, it should have been black in there. It was doing that before. I'm not sure why. That's not showing it now. Oh wait. That should all have been pocketed black. So if I go to Arts Library and then I pull this up, and I'll just use this one right here, the blue right here, and I click on the blue, deselect that, just have the blue. Is it going to let me? It don't have that, but I'm going to change that blue to the green. I'm going to assign that shape to this green profile. Now you'll see it assigned it. Now it's all dark and it's moving. Now if I go to Make sure it is on green, and it is. If I click on the preview, it's not showing a green now for some reason. I'm not sure why. Before it actually showed the colors of what it was. I'm going to have to look into that again, because it actually showed that as all green. And that was really neat. I liked how it showed that. So, let's highlight all that. Select that one. Change that. Yeah, see, it's not doing it now, but I'll figure it out, because it was a way that you can change your colors when it does that to that color. So, it would make this all green, because that's what it would be. That's the color would be green. You can make this all brown. Your shakers could be brown. All this wood could all be brown. Your pool could be blue. It was really neat how it showed that with it. So I kind of really like that, and I'm not sure. It should have showed it right in here, but it is not showing. Oh, you know why? Is that why? No, I don't think that was why. Show project shapes. Okay, no, I don't think that was it either. Somewhere I saw it. I'll find out, and I will drop it in the next video. But it actually showed that was all green, and I kind of like that. So when you looked at it, it actually would look like the colors you were going to paint it. It actually looked like an image. Oh, there it is, right there. Right there. There it is. Found it. Okay. Under here, under the preview, it's going to have show painted colors. So you can see now, it's got that as the color of the green, and I made this down here. I think I made it black, so that's kind of their version of what a black would look like. So that I kind of like. So when you're pulling up your image, you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, I like the way that looks. That you can see trees are green, the trunk is brown, the shutters and shakers or the floors are all brown. You can actually make all those things to the color that it's going to look at. I really like that. I thought that was kind of neat. So it took me a minute to get there, but I did get there. Like I said, I'm new at this. But that's how you would go about doing that. You just go into your preview and then come down here to show painted colors, and that'll put it in there. So I kind of like that. I thought that was neat. You can change it to, if you wanted pink, you can change it to pink, and then hit OK. And then when you go into your thing, it's gonna put your box into pink. So that's kind of neat. I like that. That was pretty decent. So I found that. I thought that was pretty neat. But I think that's going to be it. I don't think there was anything else to really kind of go over right now. That's just the real basics of it. But if you got something out of this, hey, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I really appreciate it. My next video is going to be of me actually showing you the toolpath, creating the toolpath and everything for that sign. So you'll be able to see that on my next video. It's already done. I just got to edit it and then get it put out for you. But that's it. I enjoyed this. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, the bell notification, share this video with other folks. Let's get this to grow. Over 100 now. Thank you guys so much. That's crazy. 110 actually subscribers. So thank you all. I really appreciate it. If you're not there yet, click on it. Let's get this baby up. I appreciate you all. Until next one, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.